Exactly. So, from the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the time that he came and the situation that was there in Mecca and the way people were going in different directions. So, how did he manage to awaken this particular dynamic and take them from that level to the level that we all aspire to achieve?
Well, a careful, reading of the life of the Prophet ﷺ shows that his most powerful tool was his example.
That role model.
Absolutely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about him that he's uswatun hasana. He's the best role model. And that's how the way the Prophet inspired people. People who believed in him, people who knew his honesty, his integrity, even before Islam. So when the ones who believed in him, once he just told them to worship Allah alone, they had no question about it. They had no concern. The whole issue of that being true or not didn't even cross their minds. The spiritual nature of belief flew into what the Prophet said, because he's an inspiration. He's a living example of what he preaches. And we have a lot of examples of people meeting the Prophet for the first time, and they are just amazed. They're sort of completely drawn into the beauty of his character and his manners. We have even one statement from one of the rabbis of the Jews in Medina. As soon as the Prophet ﷺ arrived in Medina, one of those Jewish rabbis, he said, those Arabs, they have gathered around this person who claims to be a prophet. He had just come from Mecca. So this person and his cousin decided to go and check him out. And they were learned rabbis. So they went to see him, and they recognized his face. We have Abdullah ibn Salam, one of the most learned of the Jews of Medina, Abdullah ibn Salam. He was asked, how did you become a Muslim? And he said, when the Prophet came and the people of Medina gathered around him, I wanted to check him out. He said, I came and looked at his face. So he says in Arabic, فَلَمَّا رَأَيْتُهُ عَلِمْتُ أَنَّ وَجْهَهُ لَيْسَ بِوَجْهِ كَذَّابٍ. When I saw him, I recognized this is not the face of a liar. This is an honest person. Automatically, you build the trust with that person. We have the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam when he was in the prison. The other prisoners, they came to him and they said, إِنَّا نَرَاكَ مِنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. They told him their dreams to interpret them. They said, we see you like a very good person. It's that kind of inspiration. Everyone who met the Prophet ﷺ was taken by this beauty. We have a beautiful story of on the way from Mecca to Medina, when the Prophet ﷺ was migrating, he met separately a man, and then he met his wife separately, Abu Ma'bad and Ma'bad. And they gave beautiful description of who the Prophet ﷺ was. It was such a profound description. It was full of inspiration. And it just tells you that was one of the most powerful tools. And then all other means of communication the Prophet ﷺ exercised: preaching, speaking with people, sending letters, admonishing, warning. All of these were just to get people to see what he has, to get their attention, mainly, to get to see what he has to offer them. So it all boils down to this same thing.
So all boils down for me to two things. One is that if you are spiritually at that level, even if a little less than that level, but it will show up, right?
Absolutely.
In your character, in your expressions, in your...
Yeah, and it's not very complex.
Yeah.
It's all about honesty. Just be honest. That's all it means. That's all it takes.
So this is one. Number two, the role model, right? So I was reading probably your blog where you were saying that Islam is not under threat, it's the Muslims under threat, right? It was probably one of your blogs. So we... all that we need to do is work on ourselves, right? And if we work on ourselves, so this is the benefit to us to begin with, but then that in itself is going to... we become the role models, right?
Exactly. Sometimes we're worried so much about how do we show Islam? How do we show? Islam shows. If you live Islam,
if you live Islam, that's the point.
Yeah, it shows. It shows. That's its nature. It's human nature. Islam and human nature are the same, by the way. True human nature. So when you just live Islam, and it's gonna show, then all you need is a minimal level of communication. That's all. But when you have all you're doing is just PR,
Exactly.
but there's no real substance to this.
Yeah.
It's gonna come across as fake.
Exactly. Well, shukran, jazakumullah khairan, ya Sheikh.
It's my pleasure.
This is very, very inspiring, and I hope I do justice to this conversation and make it as presentable and as effective as I could. So I'll try my best.
Inshallah.
Jazakumullah khairan, ya Sheikh.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.